highlight with everyone. Edward, become a common act achiever. They are different. They believe. They run. They laugh. They persevere. Do all this, and you will always be a giving and productive man. You must continuously pursue wisdom. And that's one thing that I've always done. Thank you, Mr. Rodneaux. That's it.
Now you can get there. Because I'm not using the notes you gave.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
How do you explain Rodneaux? I'm proud to say he is still one of my best friends. Even all through the years, we've stayed friends. You know, we develop many families in life. We have our biological family, we have our church family, our friends, our organizations, and we share a theater family. And it's made some really special memories. If Rod Saveston had not taken over as president of the theater, it would not exist today. He's devoted many, many, many hours, countless hours, trying to bring good live stage entertainment to a little town called Franklinton. Every time, he would try to keep the cost to minimum so that everybody could afford a ticket. I've just gone to several plays out of town, and if you have, then you know that $25 is a cheap ticket for dinner and a play. Rod's always wanted to keep it that way. He would always say, when we first started talking about a play, he would say, if we can't do this thing right, we're not going to do it. The first thing that comes to my mind as far as the plays is The Wizard of Oz. We didn't know what we were doing. We thought it was a good idea. Our first obstacle was finance. It cost a lot of money, even to get the rights to do a small play. So we started working with the Arts Council in Baton Rouge. We got some money, but not enough. So we knew we had to do this right to cover all of our expenses. Only Rod Saveston could have done this. We did this show in what's now the junior high auditorium that was built many years ago. It's where I went to high school. The auditorium was built for student assemblies, not to do a production like The Wizard of Oz. But he did it. We had a tornado on stage that the house actually spun around. The witch's broom actually shot real fire at the scarecrow. We even had a witch that melted into the floor of the stage. He did this. A 300-pound plus wizard was in a basket with the basket strong enough to hold his weight. And some way, I've never worked with that, I did costumes. They lifted him off the stage up above the auditorium. During this also, we added a yellow brick road, which came out from the stage and around and formed an orchestra pit. We even had an orchestra. So these are now permanently a part of the auditorium that everybody, the school and all the organizations, community can still use. We even had a real dog. Was that your dog? Who loved to eat the hot dogs from the... Everybody that came for auditions got a part in this play. Rod kept saying, take them a munchkin. We had lots of munchkins. Everybody gets to do part of this. Lights, sound, props, set changers. And then we did a performance for the students. And I didn't realize there are so many, most of the students had never seen a live performance on stage. They'd seen the movie, but they'd never seen a live performance. Then another play was Noah's Animals, which we had an entire ship on stage. Then, several years later, people kept asking about a dinner theater. Well, we talked about it. People had to go out of town for a dinner theater to enjoy that. We didn't know anything about a dinner theater. But Rod started to work. Next thing we knew, he had a place. He had plates, forks, glasses. It was busy. And that has turned out to be a very successful thing for the town, giving the town a dinner theater, which we never had. Washington Parish has so many talented people, and Rod searches them out. If he hears about somebody, he gets their number and calls them. Several of the people that have worked with the theater, young people, have actually gone on into music careers and come back and are teaching music within the parish, so we've gained that too. Even though he came from South Carolina, he has a true Washington Parish spirit. And that spirit worked hard to build a good future for the parish, not only for the theater, but through his church and the school and other organizations. He's loaded with personality, but he is a salesman. He's good. I think his greatest sale would be to our sweet dream of CEO. That's your greatest sale. And he kept her 50 years. We joked in the theater about you can't say no to Rod. If he calls to ask you to do something and you start to say, well, Rod, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, I got another idea. He's not going to let you say no. He gets up early, so you have to consider that when you give him your cell phone number. And it does no good to tell him you're going on vacation anywhere. He'll still call you. And I know Rod would want to invite anybody. If you think you're interested in the theater, there's a place for you. There's no special talent, no age restrictions, as you can see. And Rod will find a place for you. Thank you, Rod, for all you do for the theater and Washington Parish.
I've written a poem as a tribute to my dad, to Rod, that I'm going to read momentarily, but I've asked my sister Tamara to come up because I think it needs a little bit of an introduction.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for coming, and what an honor it is to be Rod's daughters and to see the honorees before him that we respect so much in our lives. And it's just so heartwarming to see this. And being come here's not from here's even more so. You know, Dad is a character, no doubt about it, right? Anybody in this room that has had any contact with Daddy knows that. To be his daughter, we definitely know that. And and Mom is just, you know, that's way out there. I mean, but I just wanted to start by saying just a couple of memories that Shannon and I have of having this man as our father. Dad was a hard worker. And for many years, he would leave on Monday, and we really didn't see him till Friday. He was a sales rep. He was a traveling sales rep. And when he left, Mom got to take control, and it was tough, especially because he has at least one daughter with a little bit of that character. But when he came home, it was like our world was spinning. He would play Tiger, he would play Airplane. The whole family would get in an uproar. The dog would go running through the house. I mean, it was like a party when Daddy would come home. But there's one particular memory that Shannon and I have talked about, and we're not sure why it's so vivid. But it's vivid. And we were young. Mom says Shannon was like 4 and I was 6, so young. But there's no video and there's no pictures of this memory. And it's of Dad in an auditorium of some sort. He has on a sequined suit. He's riding a wood horse of some sort across the stage. I guess they pushed him out on it. Cowboy hat and all. And he sings, hot pink. And he sings the Glenn Campbell song, Rhinestone Cowboy. So, intro to the poem.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go just yet. So, I remember this scene. Tamara and I both remember it very well. And it's sad that there are no pictures, but in some ways, I'm really glad. for many reasons, but I don't think anything could trump, the memory that we have stamped on our brains from that moment. I don't know what it was about that night. I don't know if it was, my mom tells a story about that evening. She says she looked down at me and I had tears in my eyes. And I looked up at her and I said, "Do you think they'll let him keep the suit?" So I don't know what it was. It certainly, the pink sequins had something to do with it. I'm sure it was a magnetic and amazing performance because Dad gives those all the time.
Standing ovation.
He did. He got a standing ovation. If there was something in the air that night, or maybe it was the song. I mean, you guys, most of you in here know this song, the tune and the words, but just to jog your memory a little bit, we're going to sing just the first few lines. Tim will help me. I've been walking these streets so long, singing the same old song. I know every crack in the dirty sidewalks of Broadway. And hustle's the name of the game. And night skies get washed away like the snow and the rain. All right, so we could go on and on. Thank you. Alright, so Dad would be happy to sing the whole thing for you later. You're all going to be singing this in your heads probably for many days. I'm sorry about that. But this poem that I wrote, I was honored, really honored that Mom asked me to write a tribute, to write something. I've been blessed by God to be able to have a little talent and write some poetry. So when I sat down to really think about writing something, this was the first.